So I saw Baby Driver the other day, which stars Kevin Spacey and Jamie Foxx and a slew of other people, including John Hamm. Now, this film follows this kid named Baby, and he's a getaway driver. He'll drive you to a bank, he'll be outside listening to music, and then as soon as they come out, he'll then drive them to basically get out of the situation. And that leads to some very energetic car chases. And along the way, he also falls in love and trying to get out, la la la. And basically, I'll put it to you this way. This film is basically Drive without all the artsy stuff. That doesn't mean it's a dumbed down version of Drive. It just means it is a version that isn't fully as realized and focused on the art of film. It is more focused on entertaining you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I had a good time with this film. I thought the performances were all around very entertaining. Kevin Spacey was Kevin Spacey in the film, but he brought about a very energetic role in being the villain. And Jamie Foxx, I didn't like his character, but he did a very good job in the role as well. And I have to say this right now, this film probably has the best soundtrack so far this year. I loved it. In fact, at the end of the film, my friend and I, we were doing donuts in the parking lot listening to the music. It was a good time. But the soundtrack is incredible. The action sequences are very energetic and upbeat and brings about a sense of satisfaction. They're not like, oh my goodness, but they are intense enough to where you're wondering if the characters can get out of it. So there is a lot to like about this film, and I can completely understand why it is a critically acclaimed film. It is, after all, Edgar Wright, who did Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, as well as The World's End, and for some that like Scott Pilgrim, he did that as well. And although I don't think it's his best film the way a lot of people are saying it, I do have to say, this film grabs you right away, and at first I had to kind of get used to the whole tone because it plays almost like a musical except for an action film. And I was just kind of like, as a critic, I was like, oh, this is cool, but I was like, I just kind of need to adjust to it. So I adjusted to it after like 5 minutes, and I was able to thoroughly enjoy this film on its own merits. But I have to say, so far, this is the best film of the summer. Even though it's early, I'm still saying it is the best film of the summer thus far. So I'm saying a lot of positive stuff about this film, and as I've said already, I can see why it is so critically acclaimed. However, I think my biggest gripe with this film is how I started off the review. I couldn't help but remind myself that this is pretty much a version of Drive. It reminded me so much of Drive. It was like Drive, except less artsy. And I couldn't help but think about that towards the end especially. That's not necessarily the worst of things, but I do have to take off points because of that, because I couldn't stop thinking about it again. And I think it also didn't help that I watched Drive literally 2 nights before I saw this, so I was literally like, this is Drive. And literally when I was talking to my girlfriend about this film, I was literally explaining the plot. She's like, oh, so you mean like Drive? And I was like, yeah, like Drive. And I started thinking about it more. I was like, yeah, like Drive. But again, that's probably the only thing I can say that's bad about this film, other than there are some things towards the end where it was like, that doesn't, that doesn't make sense. Like one character stopping at a place where it just so happens that a person's significant other works and brings about trauma. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. So again, it's not spoiling anything. I said this and this and this, so but if you have seen the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. There are just certain things where it's like, just kind of there to enhance the story and propel its movement. But overall though, guys, this was a very enjoyable film. I have to give it a 4.25 out of 5-star rating. It was a good film experience in theaters. So if you haven't done so already, I would highly recommend you see it in theaters. And if you guys have seen the film, let me know in the comment section down below how you liked it. And if you haven't done so already, also hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.